And now, young Widder Brown. Searching for Evan Brown, who is in the hands of an unscrupulous criminal posing as her dead husband, her fiancé, Dr. Anthony Loring, is at the Bureau of Missing Persons in Chicago in the office of Lieutenant Harkness. They're waiting for a direct call from Evan's friend, Noreen Temple, in Simpsonville. But Noreen has put aside her own fears over her anxiety for Evan and has revealed what Evan told her concerning the reason Evan went to Chicago. As he waits, Anthony thinks over the astonishing news he has just received, and Lieutenant Harkness is sympathetic but matter-of-fact, as he now says.
Look, get over it, Dr. Loring. Women are all like that. Women are always keeping something from you. They can't help it. They just can't give you a straight pitch.
Lieutenant, you can't know what a shock this is.
So Mrs. Brown's husband wasn't dead. She probably knew it.
No, there was a death certificate. No, that I couldn't accept, that Ellen could have lived such a lie all these years.
You better accept it, Doctor. It's easier that way. I tell you, after all my years in this Bureau of Missing Persons, I go by the slogan, expect everything to be worse. Wisest.
Ellen didn't know William Brown was alive. I know that. Confound it, if we only knew more about him.
What do you know about people when you get down to it?
She had no one to check on his background when she married him. He could have been anything, a gangster even.
So maybe she knew it all the time. And then he decided to put the bite on her. You say she's a nice girl, doing all right in the hometown. Well, maybe he was going to come back and mess things up. You know, it isn't only sinners that pay blackmail, Dr. Loring.
I suppose not.
All right, look at it this way. Suppose you were this girl. Suppose your life was okay. You thought things were going fine. And back comes this lot.
Lieutenant Harkness, you're presupposing that Ellen knew her husband was alive.
As I say, what do you know about people, Dr. Loring? What do you really know? Oh, she never married you, did she? How long have you been engaged?
You have all the information there, Lieutenant. Read your notes.
Look, nothing like this is easy, Dr. Loring. You wouldn't be the first man to learn a lot about the woman he loves and find out that a lot was going on he never dreamed of.
You don't know Ellen Brown, Lieutenant. She's a woman of integrity.
They're all that until something bad happens to them, and this is no criticism of her. This husband of hers was a son of a gun. All right. She had 2 kids by him. She was stuck with their support, her support, everything. He ran out on her from the look of things, hid somewhere, got in trouble. Now he's back trying to find a refuge.
Look, Lieutenant, while we're waiting for the telephone call from Noreen Temple, would you mind...
I'm helping you out talking like this, Doctor, because it's always dirty business, investigations of any kind. You turn over a rock, and what you find is seldom pretty. I'm just preparing you.
Thanks.
The picture gets put together pretty easily from here on out, I'd say. Because when you look back and start figuring this girl...
Ellen isn't this girl.
Now, look, I mean no disrespect for her. She's had a dirty deal. Whether she invited it by getting scared, you don't know. Well, our job's to find her and get her out of the jam.
Do you think you can?
Now I do, now that I have something to go on. Now there's a man in the picture. A letter, $1,000 in cash. And this Noreen Temple being threatened because she knows too much. It doesn't take long to figure out that all those things add up to trouble.
All right, I'm glad of that then. You recognize it as trouble, but what will you do?
We'll get to work when that telephone rings. Incidentally, I've contacted the state police. You don't have to worry about anybody in Simpsonville. There's going to be a couple of extra troopers around that town till we get this straightened out.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's quite okay.
You know, I'm just a doctor. Things like this don't happen often around me. I'm not quite sure what to do, what to say.
It's not easy.
You see, Ellen, the very idea that Ellen could have known her husband to be alive... Lieutenant, you just don't know how fantastic that would be.
Okay. Let's hope it is fantastic. Although I don't know what difference it should make. He's trying to get a divorce anyway,
That isn't the point. Well, there's no use trying to make a point. It's all too blame confusing.
Hello, Lieutenant Harkness speaking.
Meanwhile, not very far away in the grim-looking house in which she is prisoner, Evan gazes out over the roofs of Chicago, contemplating the circumstances which face her.
I'm to be married tomorrow, with book, bell, and candle, at St. Andrew's Church around the corner, by someone called the Reverend Blakemore. We're to have a chat with him before the ceremony. And all the time, I know that this man who calls himself William Brown will have a loaded gun leveled at both of us. And I know that he won't hesitate to use it. He won't hesitate. And so I'm to go on with the farce and allow a criminal to escape. It's a horrible travesty of everything. My mother's prayer book... My mother's prayer book... It can't happen. It simply can't happen that this can go on and on. It won't happen. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let him make such a coward of me.
And around the corner from the house, the Reverend Blakemore walks in the little pretense of a garden in the back of the church with the sexton saying,
I wonder, Sam, if the Lord realizes that he's testing us to the utmost here in the garden, that he's challenging us with all the soot in the world, it seems.
Yeah, I don't know, Reverend. It just seems like it kind of picks our yard, don't it?
This summer we had the first flowers to bloom in St. Andrew's yard in years. I wonder if they'll bloom again.
Oh, sure they will. Way you and I get out and work. Say, Reverend, you feeling all right?
I'm feeling splendid, thank you. Why?
You seem kind of worried to me, that's all. Twice I talked to you today. You didn't hear me.
I've been thinking. Sam, there's a wedding tomorrow that bothers me a little.
Yeah? Mixed marriage?
No, a strange marriage, though. What kind of people send someone to make their arrangements with me instead of coming themselves? Do you know, Sam?
Oh, busy people, I guess.
Perhaps. But everyone's so busy these days. No time for any of the nice, simple things of living.
Well, you don't ever marry people unless they come to you first.
These people are coming just before the ceremony.
Well, is that enough?
I suppose so. This seems a hurried kind of wedding, though. Very settled. Very organized.
Yeah, I know. You like to see young folks getting married with all their family around and everything, don't you?
Yes, I do. And these are just two people from anywhere. No flowers, no friends. Still, the bride insists on being married in the church. That's something.
You know, I never saw you so worried about a couple before, Reverend.
I didn't like their messenger, Sam. And I don't think I approve of the kind of man who lets someone else arrange his marriage. Now, is he afraid of me? Is she afraid of me? Or of him?
Well, Reverend...
I don't like my church to be used as an office of a justice of the peace. I don't like my church to be taken for granted. I don't like the office of my ministry to be taken for granted. Sam, I'm getting old and crabbed, I guess, but perhaps more people should be scolded into behaving like church members. However, she does insist on its being a church wedding. Perhaps in this new family I can count on the bride's good intentions. What time is the children's choir meeting, Sam? I want to talk to them about some things.
Now back in the office of Lieutenant Harkness at the Bureau of Missing Persons, the lieutenant completes making notes of his conversation with Noreen Temple in Simpsonville. As he puts down the telephone, he turns to Anthony and says,
Well, Dr. Loring, there it is.
Were you able to make head or tail of it, Lieutenant?
Mrs. Temple was making sense. She was scared, of course. It's not easy to say you're not afraid when you are.
She will be safe.
Of course. Now, look, the activity, obviously, is here in Chicago now. Your girl was brought here for a purpose, for the divorce, according to Mrs. Temple. The letter Mrs. Brown got from Chicago specifically asked for a divorce.
Yes.
All right. Now the thing to do is to look for papers on this divorce. We'll get some of our people on it right away and find out who's making arrangements for a divorce, where, why, and so on.
Can you get that information?
Of course I can. But, man, up to this time, we had no idea why Ellen Brown came to Chicago. We didn't know any of this until Mrs. Temple decided to talk.
Ellen's husband must be...
He's a very worried guy, obviously. And worried guys are the ones who make all the mistakes. The important thing for us right now, Doctor, is to be sure that we capitalize on those mistakes.
All right. What can I do?
Tag along?
I don't want to be a nuisance.
You won't be. You're worried and anxious, but you make sense, and you may help.
Where are we going now, Lieutenant?
To files. You have to file for a divorce in this town. You have to have certain legal documents on the record.
All right.
Also that death certificate, or alleged death certificate. You talked of its being missing. I want to take a chance that if he died, it might have been here in Chicago. You can't tell, Dr. Loring. That may get us somewhere.
Is there room for hope in the ordeal being faced by young Widder Brown?